Have you guys heard about Tim Ross's Jesus stripper analogy? It's been going around the internet. So we wanted to watch it and react to it today. Let's try it out. Let's see what he said here. Hold on one second.
And it was bread to them. No. We don't make it rain on booty cheeks. We don't make it rain on strippers. We only reverence one stripper. And that's the one that took off glory to put on humanity and then get butt naked on a cross to die for both you and me. The only stripper I'm in love with is Jesus. And he's the one that puts that bread in my...
Why you stop? That was the best part. The bread in my pocket. Hey, bread in my pocket.
So yeah, that's caused a stir. I've never seen so many comments on the video in my life. People were really upset with him for comparing Jesus to a stripper. What did you guys think of that clip?
It kind of goes back to like what I said with the Easter Sunday situation, where you're presenting Christ in a way that, to me, just feels it's impure analogies. You know what I mean? Impure analogies. Like, you don't want to confuse people like that. You don't want people to be able to twist your words and put them out there like you said something that was disrespectful or, demeaning to Christ. So for me, it's like, that's not how I was raised to respect, God. It's not how I was raised to fear him. It was more of a, like, you do praise and worship, and you set an atmosphere. It's kind of like too gimmicky. Yeah, it's disrespectful in my opinion.
You all right?
Yeah, it's just vibing to the moment we're in.
Okay. What'd you think?
I don't know, man. I kind of agree with Ryan a little bit.
Yeah.
I think at the same time, I don't know the whole passage. That's one, because we're in a clickbait society, so anybody can take any parts of something that you do online or in your church or whatever, and then put it out there, and it looks crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've said crazy stuff on the show, and people can literally take clips out and without the whole content. So I want to see the whole content, but at the same time, I personally wouldn't. I caught it a little bit when he was like, what he said part where he took off his clothes, and I kind of caught that part, but I was like, I just think we're just in a bad place with the church right now, that anything that looks secular, extremely secular, would be get like, ooh, I don't know about that. So you just got to really think about what you do or say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if this was youth, it'd be different, you know what I'm saying? The youth can get the pockets, get the pockets.
Why is it different?
They understand it more. You know what I mean? I'm joking.
Okay. So my reaction when you posted it, because you were the reason I saw it.
Let's discuss.
And I saw, Eshawn was disgusted by it. A lot of people were disgusted by it. But my reaction was, as a spoken word artist, as a rapper, I feel like if that was done in a rhyme, nobody would have said nothing. If I said that on stage in a rhyme, in a spoken word piece, people would have been... that kind of it would have had a different reaction. I don't know why it would have been different though, because to me, if you said the same, basically what he was saying was,
our blessings
strippers are bad.
Yeah,
you guys spend your money on strippers. The stripper we love is Jesus.
Yeah, but why? Why do you think why?
So
why would you think
all I'm coming to the stage, the man that died for you, the man that put your sins on a cross.
So he's
coming for you, Jesus Christos.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, do you have a lot of experience with strippers? Like, what's the problem? Why are you going? Are you getting lost in the thought? Like, what is happening? Is that
like
the problem?
Like, he's my favorite, but you're my second. You know that, right? Coco from back in the day.
So I think there's three things that were inflammatory. This was causing the problem. Saying Jesus is his favorite stripper was the first one. saying what was the second one? I'd have to hear it again. There was, and then the bread in my pocket, but there was one more in the middle. Oh, got butt naked on a cross. I think those 3 words were like inflammatory. But essentially, if he said it this way, I'm just gonna ask you. If he said it this way, basically saying like, you guys spend your money on strippers. I spend my life on the one who was stripped on the cross.
That's different.
Is that different?
That's different because Jesus is not a stripper.
But he was
he was stripped.
Okay, but here's the thing.
And he stripped his robe.
Yeah, that's
when he
different.
left heaven.
That's different. Not saying my favorite stripper is
the
Jesus.
ER is what makes it.
It's jacking him up.
But here's the thing, though. If I'm in the audience, you're still not talking to me.
Because you're not thinking of heaven. You're thinking of a magic city.
Okay, but it's not for you. I think the point is that he's talking. It assumes to me that he's talking out to a crowd that he believes may be living a double life, going to strip clubs and then coming here on Sunday.
Oh,
no,
God.
but don't even do that. Just be like, the world.
Sean,
like,
your explanation
separate
was the best explanation he could have done.
What?
It was. I mean, it was. Yeah.
What you just said.
Because after I saw the outrage, I literally tried to say, if I was writing this as a spoken word, it would be literally just that. It would be you spend ones at the club. I spend my life on the one who was stripped and hung on a cross. Red bottom, snake skin heel from stomping on the one who had us hemmed up from the jump.
Yeah.
We need that stripper
be,
piece from you next week.
That would be the
Destination
metaphor.
style.
It's the same thing.
You want me to call Maya too, so y'all could do Hey Love?
We could do that.
Hey Love, the Atlanta stripper version. She watching this, but so.
But you.
No, I get it.
But you get what I'm saying. It's the same metaphor. I just think he did it wrong.
Yeah.
It's pointing out, hey, you guys think going to strip clubs is okay? I'm telling you it's not. Let me tell you what you should be doing instead. Instead of that stripper, let me tell you about a different stripper. So it's kind of like what Paul did in the thing. You love this guy, let me tell you about this guy that you don't know nothing about.
But I think the thing is, the hang-up is, one, we're in strip club culture right now. So comparing any...
You're sending somebody's mind. But that's the same reason why people get mad when we used to play beats.
Yeah.
Secular beats, line for line. It's because they're saying, why are you using secular stuff at all? Like, why send anybody's mind that way at all?
Yeah, but I think what you said was, your frame, what you just said was perfect. Like, y'all talking about strippers and stripper, but I praise the one that took slashes and he had to strip to the world.
But you're still comparing stripper to stripper.
But what you said just a few minutes ago was perfectly. I've heard somebody say something like on that line.
The reason the metaphor works is because you're taking the word stripper and you're changing the meaning of it from somebody who strips for men's pleasure to somebody who's stripped for our salvation. Yeah, it's the same word, but changing the meaning.
But you're not. Your focus is not Jesus as stripper, and then your song afterwards.
The song afterwards is a problem. Bread in my pocket is outlandish because who cares about that? You know? It's to me
now the bread. He could be talking about Jesus is the bread in his pocket.
Like it's another metaphor. But again, it's the same problem of why are you using that imagery to make that point? Because he could say he's the bread of life. He's my bread in my pocket, the manna from heaven I'm putting in my pocket. Using that as a metaphor to you guys chasing after money. But again, it's still it's the reason the problem is he's borrowing parts of the imagery to be kind of like provocative. And it was so provocative that people lost the point.
Let me ask you a question. Do people really care about this? All right, what do you think the people that are upset about? Maybe they don't like him in general?
No, I don't even think people knew who he was.
No, but what I'm saying, like what I said, tradition. This is about how people feel about Christ. Like it's just one of the, and then also it's your audience, right? Y'all remember when we were kids, or maybe I only experienced this. When we were kids, they would have a call to go to children's church. Yeah. Like, okay, after you did, communion, or you did the
praise and worship. Yeah.
Praise and worship, they would say, okay, everybody. I always used to think, are they going to say something that I'm not supposed to hear? You know what I'm saying? So age appropriateness. Like, so he's like, we don't make it rain on strippers' booties. And I would be like, if my daughter was in the audience, she's going to be asking me on the ride home, Daddy, what is raining on strippers' booty? And I would be like, now I'm feeling awkward because I got to explain this. They already know not to say the word booty. So now we got to have another conversation. If they're watching this right now, I got to have a conversation when they get home. Usually they are watching. This and becoming
Why'd you
evil.
say booty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Turning the toy like strippers' booties.
They have asked me stuff that I've said on the show before because they were sitting in.
Does too.
Daddy, strippers' booty.
So, it's about your audience, right? And so if you're a parent and you're sitting in the audience and you got your 7-year-old, 9-year-old right beside you, you're like,
yeah, but I don't think
Cuff your
I don't
ears.
think that's the thing. So, like for instance, when we did Destinations, it was 18 plus. Like we said that from the jump.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in certain environments, the metaphor is not the problem. It was the execution. Like I said, if I said what I just said in a spoken word piece, it would be like,
Well, because you see the correlation. I think spoken word is a
deeper in thought.
That too. But spoken word in the atmosphere you're doing it in is different than like.
What if I was doing it on Sunday? I would do that same thing on Sunday.
Yeah, but I mean, would it make sense with what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's say you at church and your pastor say, okay, Sean, I need you to do a piece about Christ dying for this culture and using the culture, but saying God is better.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense. But if he just tell you, hey Sean, can you do a spoken word piece for us next week?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. And then you say
Do
that.
you know who I am? Do you know who I am? you
know me, right?
I've said crazy stuff, bro. But the point is that it's always
Easter?
whenever. I don't care when it is. The reason is because my sole focus when I'm up there is I need to get the attention of the person who is pretending out there.
Gotcha.
I know what it feels like to be in church and pretend.
Yeah.
I want to get their attention to say, I see you. You can't pretend anymore, not with me. You know what I mean? So all the other people who might get offended or whatever, I'm not doing this for them. I'm solely focused on the one who only came here because it was Easter or it was because somebody took them to church. I'm sending a sharp sword right to them.
Yeah.
And that's the only person I'm thinking about when I'm up there. So I don't think the metaphor is wrong. It was his execution. There's ways to get the attention of the stripper metaphor without losing people's minds. And what Jesus was taking off he was on a pole. Like people go crazy with the metaphor and they forget that you're trying to make a different point.
Is this the same as the whole goat thing with Kirk Franklin, or is that worse?
Well, Kirk Franklin's problem was it didn't make any sense.
That was dumb.
It didn't make any sense. It was provocative, but it didn't line up scripturally with.
Yeah.
And what was it he said again?
It's like the lion and the sheep would bow
down
down
to
to
the
the goat.
goat.
Which I get what he means. They'll bow down to the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But you're using animals, and those animals, the goat is not a part of.
You could have spelled
the
it.
Bible.
You could have said the GOAT. And
No, but it
everybody
still
would
doesn't
have
matter. It doesn't matter. It was-
Well, you know
It's the
what?
same
Another
problem.
problem was because people think when they think goat, they think Baphomet.
Yes.
So,
So
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that
just the metaphor doesn't work. I'm really big on metaphors. Have to be so tight. It has to make sense perfectly both ways, or don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. So to me, this didn't fall into that. It was just you have to be aware that if you push it too far, they won't go with you to the rest of the journey. They got lost right there.
Yeah.
They stopped. At
I don't
the
think they
metaphor.
got lost because they kept going with
The
them.
people in the room were fine.
Yeah.
It's just when it
Because
gets
they get that
spread.
every Sunday.
But how many people may not be fans of Tim Ross? So they like, yo, we got something.
No, it doesn't matter because once it hits somebody's eyes, I don't think it was any agenda around it. They just took it bad.
Yeah.
Millions of people took it bad. So, okay, it could have been done better. But I challenge people who say it can't be done at all. That's the only thing. I think it can't.
I don't think they saying it can't be done. I think from an artist perspective, from a rapper, from somebody who's a poet, I think it can be done, but it has to be done in the right atmosphere, not at church.
You could do it anywhere. I would have done it. I would have done it wherever.
So you would have followed up with the cheese in my pocket?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have said what he said because I think he did it wrong. I'm saying like what I just did. I would have done that anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody's like, I've said stuff at churches where they're like, Sean, you shouldn't say things like that. But it's like, ma'am, I'm not doing this for you. Then don't ask. You know me. Don't ask me here. What?
Yeah.
Every single time, I'm always aiming to reach the person who is
But Sean,
here
come
that's
on.
not
I've
wanting
seen
to
you
be here.
did spoken word before at certain churches, and you may do "Oh Holy One."
Yeah, because I know that piece the best. If you
ask me, I knew that.
If you ask me at the last
Sure.
minute, I'm going for that. I could do that piece right now with no preparation.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the first ones I ever did until I learned some of this because of y'all corrupted my mind at destination. This is y'all's fault. Anyway,
Daddy's boy.
Let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah.